This is the brand new MacBook Neo, and I used it as my main laptop for the first 30 days since it was released. And I'm talking about my experience from gaming to productivity to just everyday life, all in this video. But before we get into it, I just want to mention that a very small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. But subscribing is completely free, and it's a great way to support my channel. Plus, I upload a new Apple video every single week, and if subscribing is not your thing, liking the video helps out a lot too. Let's just start off with first impressions and all of that stuff. First of all, the price. This is the main sticking point for everyone on this device. It is super cheap. It is $499 with the student discount, and with taxes in the state I live in, it's about $540, and you walk out with this laptop. And the first thing you'll notice about it is the build quality is phenomenal. It feels like a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air or any Mac you've ever used, and it feels very familiar. One thing that's a big difference in just the everyday use of this device is this trackpad is a physical clicking trackpad. So it's not a forced trackpad like we've been used to on Apple laptops for the past 10 years. And I thought I would really hate that part, but it turned out to be one of my favorite parts about this laptop. I kind of missed having a physical clicking trackpad, and this one feels really good, and it's got a great area of coverage. You can click pretty much anywhere and it will pick it up. And you can use tap to click, of course, if you don't like physically clicking. So it's got you covered on everything, and it is not the weakest point of this laptop that I thought it would be. The next big thing is the 8 gigabytes of RAM. And this is a big sticking point for a lot of people. They're like, oh my God, it's not worth it. It only has 8 gigs of RAM. You can't do any multitasking. And after using this for a month, I completely disagree with that argument. I edited one of my videos the day it came out. I edited my unboxing and vlog on this laptop, and there's a full recording with no cuts up on my YouTube channel. You can watch me edit a 4K YouTube video with multiple streams of 4K video overlapping each other in the same timeline, and it handled it flawlessly. And I was hopping into my web browser to download stuff. I had a lot of different apps open. I was importing footage. There might have been a couple hitches here and there, but nothing crazy, nothing game-changing. I was never distracted by how low the performance was. I was just focused on making my video, and I edited the whole thing in less than an hour. I will say the video export time was a little bit slow, but that has nothing to do with RAM. This thing can do a lot, and Apple's memory swap and memory compression is very advanced, and that allows this thing to really have a lot more flexibility with a lot of apps open. It will just intelligently swap the RAM to whatever apps you are using the most or wherever it's needed most. Okay, and then the third big sticking point that people don't like is the fact that this laptop comes with a USB 2.0 port right here. That is a 26-year-old port. USB 2.0 came out in 2000. So that port is incredibly slow, and in fact, if you try to plug in a drive to it, it will tell you to plug it into the other port because that port is so slow. So I would say that port is the worst part about this laptop. Everything else is passable and gets the job done. That port is going to be very difficult to do a productive workflow or live in a modern environment because it's a 26-year-old connector on a brand new device that just came out. That's my only issue and beef with this laptop. Otherwise, I love it, okay? I touched on it a little, but going back to video editing performance, pro apps, I've done plenty on this laptop. I've edited several videos for this YouTube channel. I've also edited thumbnails using Pixelmator Pro. And then I've also done plenty of, standard web browsing, watching YouTube videos, having a bunch of tabs open. I did my taxes on this laptop, like literally this week, and it's been totally fine. And a lot of times I forgot I was using like an underpowered laptop. This was just the laptop I was grabbing, and I was grabbing instead of my MacBook Pro. For context, my main laptop is a 2021 M1 Pro MacBook Pro. This thing, when I was putting it in my backpack, I would sometimes forget that I had it with me because it was so light. With my 2021 MacBook Pro, it is so much heavier than this that it's a big difference when you're wearing it on your back. So I would highly recommend this for the weight alone to college students or anyone who needs a light laptop. The MacBook Air is only slightly less heavy than this laptop. So think of it as a MacBook Air. For all intents and purposes, think of this as a MacBook Air, but it has less horsepower. That's pretty much this laptop to a T. So to summarize this section, video editing gets a pass from me. I edited multiple 4K videos on it. Photo editing, it handled Pixelmator Pro perfectly. I also passed it off to one of my coworkers, and he started cooking in Premiere Pro. He's a content creator, so he He applied all sorts of fancy things. He got the beach ball to show up once or twice, but overall, he was very, very surprised by how well it handled it. So in terms of YouTube videos, I'm using Final Cut Pro, but I just thought I would test out an Adobe Creative Cloud app if I could. Let's talk about gaming on this thing. I have not seen enough true coverage of gaming on the MacBook Neo, but let me be the first person to tell you, this thing handles gaming totally fine. I would say like my biggest critique for gaming on this Mac is the fact that just not very many games support the MacBook Neo. But let me run through some examples and show you some recordings on screen. First of all, it handled Minecraft like a pro, just out of the box. It didn't change any settings, and it was locked at 120 frames per second, totally fine. And on this screen, that's 60 hertz, it handled it perfectly. I also played The Sims 4 on it for a different YouTube video that I made a couple weeks ago, and it was a little bit stuttery, but it got the job done. I think that was more of a RAM bottleneck than a performance bottleneck, but there's some pretty intensive, you know, when you're zoomed out, when you're zooming in and out, it gets kind of intensive loading stuff in and loading stuff out. So there's a little bit of stuttering, but overall a totally passable performance where you could still totally play The Sims on here. I also tried some other games. For gaming, I would give this thing like a B+ maybe. It gets the job done. It's great for casual games, stuff like that. Things are not that serious, but it's something that's on the go that you can take with you and play some games on, and it's going to have you covered as far as most basic games go, as long as they're supported on Mac OS. Okay, and then to wrap things up, I'm just going to talk about the general everyday use. Okay, let's talk about battery life. So the battery life on this computer is totally acceptable. It has a smaller battery than the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro, but because there's an iPhone chip inside of here running everything, it uses very little electricity. So that keeps this thing running just as well as any Mac laptop. I think it has technically about 2 hours less battery life than the MacBook Air, but overall 16 hours of battery life on a single charge is like totally gonna get the job done. And it also has that amazing Apple standby power. So if I put this thing to sleep and put it in my bag, it's not gonna die overnight. It will last days and days. And then when I come back to finally use it, it's working just as I would need it to. And I'm like, oh my God, I still got 50% battery. This is great. And if you use an Apple laptop, you know what I'm talking about. That's how it works. If you've never used one, that's what your experience would be like if you're using this laptop. And going back to everyday use, I brought this laptop with me a lot of places and I got a lot of questions about it. I had to show this laptop to so many people because people would ask to check it out or see what worked on it and stuff like that. Let me log out of my account here. Because so many people are asking me questions, I actually had to make a second account called a test user, and it has no permissions on the computer, but I just wanted to create that. So then whenever someone asked me about it, I would pull it out of my backpack and I'd be like, check this out. And I'd log them in as the test user and they could just mess around with it, open Final Cut, open Photoshop, mess around, try the browser, and just see if it could do anything that they were trying to throw at it. And people were very pleased with the performance. They thought the quality was very strong. And honestly, people were very surprised overall by how well it performed. There's some news that came out this week about the MacBook Neo. Apple's having a really difficult time keeping it in stock. It is selling way more and way faster than they ever anticipated, so it's already backordered several weeks. And apparently there's worries on the factory line that they might not have enough processors on hand to fulfill all the orders for MacBook Neo, because they only had a set amount of processors. They're the leftover processors from the previous gen iPhone. And once they run out of those processors, they either have to start making more or just put a newer processor in it. We'll see what happens, but Apple clearly wasn't really expecting to find themselves in this scenario. So the MacBook Neo is far more successful than anyone really anticipated, but people are loving that Apple is competing at a lower price range. And I think this is going to be the end of a lot of low-end laptops because these other manufacturers are just going to get pushed out. And I don't even really blame these other manufacturers that are making low-end laptops, because I think Windows is really the problem with a lot of those laptops. The fact that it runs Windows just puts it at a major disadvantage, and there's nothing they can do on the build quality side that's going to make Windows better, unfortunately. So Mac is winning, and it's winning partially because of Mac OS. And I think that lead is just going to keep getting further and further. Now Apple's going to start stealing more market share, and we're going to see a very interesting shift over the next couple of years. That is my official prediction. But I can't get enough of this laptop. I'm a really big fan of it. It's handled everything I've thrown on it, and it would be very easy for me to recommend this to a friend, a family member, or a colleague. In fact, I've recommended it to all three of those types of people. So if you're watching this, I would recommend this laptop. If there's anything super crazy you're trying to do, you're probably not really considering this laptop anyway. So if this is something you're considering buying, I would say just buy it. You can always return it from places like Apple or Best Buy. They have a decent return policy, and you can get that figured out if it's not able to do what you need it to do. But especially down the line when they put a better processor in this, either next year or a few years down the line, this computer will become just like a guaranteed hit for pretty much anybody. If you're thinking that your workload is mostly going to involve using the web browser and doing Google Docs, email, social media, stuff like that, this thing will do it, no problem. Don't even think about it, just buy it. And honestly, you might want to buy it sooner rather than later. Well, it's still in stock to some degree. So I have a feeling this thing is going to get back ordered like crazy around the holidays, around back to school. So honestly, right now might be a good time of year to consider investing in it. But that's my thoughts on this laptop. I'm really excited about it. I feel like the spirit of Steve Jobs is alive and well in this product, and I hope you buy it and pursue all your hopes and dreams on it. All right, that's going to do it for this week's video, but I'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.